Stellaris Season 9 will be completed on November the 25th with the Infernal Species Pack, and alongside that the free 4.2 Corvus update. This new DLC has been developed by Forgotten Empires, an external studio, in close collaboration, apparently, with Paradox Development Studios. The developers are saying that this is their most ambitious species pack so far. It examines extremophile life bathing in the heat of fiery volcanic worlds. This is one of those new volcanic worlds. I think these are different to molten worlds. This is the Earth, the United Volcanoes of Earth, and oh boy does it look fiery. Let's start with the full feature list before we dive down into some specific facts about some of the new origins and the new player crisis. So there are two new origins coming, Cosmic Dawn and Red Giant. We have the new player crisis path, Hyperthermia. That is not hypothermia, that is hyperthermia, so we're getting everything to be hotter. There are 4 new civics coming, Fire Cult, Scorched World Heralds, kind of reminds me of Galactus that a little bit, or Pyromaniac Instinct, then Galvanic Empire, Biometallic Cartel, or Galvanic Synthesis, and finally Planet Forgers, Planetary Architects, Volcanic Nesting, or Thermal Optimizers. I'm guessing those are the different names depending on the authority of your empire, whether they are a machine intelligence, or a normal standard empire, or a megacorp, that sort of thing. We are getting a brand new planet type. This is one of the first new planet types we've had in the game for a very, very long time, volcanic planets, and these come with a new habitability preference. I'm not sure if volcanic is a single planet type or if we're going to get subtypes within that. We will have to wait and find out. We are getting thermophile mechanics. We have no idea what that is. Wow, okay. Infernal species traits, new traits to go with the 10 infernal species portraits. We have access to those new portraits. We'll look through them in just a minute. An infernal ship set, and of course, a diplomatic room, city set, and visors, flag emblem, and a little more. There are only going to be 4 more dev diaries between today and the release of Infernals. Next week, we'll be covering in much more detail Pops, Traits, and Volcanic Worlds. The week after, November 6th, we'll be covering Cosmic Dawn, the Civics, and the Infernal ship set. And then on November 13th, we're looking at Red Giant Origin and the Player Crisis Galactic Hyperthermia. The very, very last dev diary is scheduled to just be about Infernals, quote unquote. Maybe that's going to be artwork, and then some preliminary release notes for the 4.2 patch. If you like the sound of that feature list and you'd like to pre-order Stellaris Infernals and also support this channel, you can do so using our affiliate link to the Paradox Interactive store, which is down in the description below. Or head over to the Paradox Interactive store to get your hands on a Steam key and use our code MONTUPLAYS at the checkout to also support this channel. Let's now dive in and find out a little bit more about each of these features. Let's dive into the little info that we have been given, the mere morsels that tell us a little bit more about this new DLC. So, the Cosmic Dawn origin. In this one, your species roamed the stars in the early days of the galaxy. Trapped as the planets cooled, recent volcanic activity has freed some of your people, and now it is time to look for other survivors across the stars. This really reminds me basically of like a Necron wake-up origin, except having nothing to do with machines, instead being, you know, these infernal species that live on molten volcanic worlds. Sorry, not molten worlds, just volcanic. Molten worlds I think are still going to be in the game, but now we're getting this new planet class. It would be great if we could live on all the molten worlds, but maybe that would be too powerful. Anyway, we're going to be going out into the galaxy and finding kind of our long-lost brethren in their tomb worlds, or kind of volcano cores, I guess, and bringing them back into reality. The other origin, Red Giant, is all about the star. The very star that brought life to our home planet has then become a very great threat. As it expands and overheats the system, our empire can embrace this change or gain strength through adversity. I wonder if that one isn't locked to being infernal, having some sort of thermophile ability, like I'm guessing the first origin is. I suspect the red giant origin here might allow us to become thermophile if we stay in this in the embrace of this red giant for long enough that our planet turns into a volcanic world. That sounds like a really cool, interesting origin, though Cosmic Dawn I'm definitely much more interested in. Here we can see the new Civic icons. The first Civic is definitely the Planet Forger's Civic, as that is the only one that had 4 options for names, and there are 4 images here. The next one along on the right must be Fire Cult. This one definitely has something to do with Unity. It looks kind of like the Inward Perfectionist symbol or the Unity symbol, but with some additional spiky, fiery elements on there. The bottom left is almost certainly Scorched World's Heralds. This may have something to do with Fanatic Purifiers. Maybe this is a genocidal Civic. It's only available, it looks like, to regular empires and hive empires. Then we've got finally the Galvanic Empire, or Galvanic Synthesis, or Biometallic Cartel on the bottom right. I've honestly got not very much idea here, other than it being something to do with living metal, maybe? I don't know. Let me know what you think these Civics are going to do down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. The Infernal Species Pack is also bringing us, as we mentioned, a brand new player crisis, Galactic Hyperthermia. This one is terraforming, but on a grander scale. The universe, you see, began in fire, but now it has cooled down into a dark and hostile place. It's time to fix that. And if this image has anything to do with the Galactic Hyperthermia crisis, we'll clearly be building a megastructure around our star. Maybe we're actually getting our hands on some sort of giant beam type weapon to shoot sun energy into other stars. If you've played Gigastructural Engineering, I'm not going to say what it might be that I'm alluding to, but it's definitely in one of the mods. Here we can see the brand new Crisis screen, which is allowing us to look at all of the icons of the new Crisis powers that we will have access to if we take Galactic Hyperthermia. There's a little bit of text on the right. Let's take a look. Crystallized entropy, that's what we will be collecting. Not menace, not logic, but entropy. That's a bit interesting. Those in the galactic community who chart the arc of history have long predicted a coming crisis. An existential threat to all sapient life which would require unprecedented unity of purpose and sacrifice to overcome it, if it can be overcome at all. Popular predictions as to the nature of this crisis have been as fanciful as the invasion of an extragalactic glutton, or the galaxy's machine intelligence is rising up in a petty rebellion, or some sort of war of succession spilling over from another plane of existence. But it is now clear that the crisis was always going to be us. A new way to manipulate energy will allow us to vastly increase our power. We will need to harness the fire of the stars themselves to ignite this era. Our source of power is crystallized entropy, which can be used to upgrade the galactic crucible and unlock the next crisis level. So that, I think, that megastructure we saw earlier is this galactic crucible. Looking at the icons over on the left, in levels 3 and levels 5, we're definitely getting some ships. I'm thinking that might be a destroyer in level 3. There are, I think, 4 slots on there for weapons, and level 5 might be a cruiser, though possibly it's a battleship. Most of the icons do seem to involve fire of some sort. I'm assuming we're going to get some weapons damage bonuses here, just like Galactic Menace maybe, and then maybe some special powers to incinerate fleets. There's an icon here with a fleet, a ship in level 4 that is on fire, clearly, alongside a flaming sword and a skull inside of... I'm guessing that... No, that must be... Okay, level 2 and level 5, the middle icon... I think that might be the Galactic Crucible. So in level 2 we get access to it perhaps, so we can start building it. But then in level 5 it becomes a weapon of war. That I think is why we've got the skull in the middle. We can start to shoot with it. Though maybe at level 3 it starts heating up adjacent systems perhaps, or doing some sort of galactic terraforming nearby. We build it in level 2, in level 3 it projects heat, and in level 5 we can use it as a weapon. Those are my guesses. Let me know what you think all of these icons mean down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your wild theories as well. And if you're enjoying this video, please set fire to that like button. Now let's take a look at the brand new city set, the brand new diplomatic room, flag emblems, well at least one of them, and also of course some of the species portraits. Here you can see pretty much the first one, which is the city set. This is also what I think the volcanic world will be looking like. There's a lot of lava here. I'm sensing a lot of heat, though somehow the sky is not literally on fire. Yeah, okay, fair enough. I like it though. I don't hate it. I'm not sure it's my favorite ever. I'm not sure how metal survives next to lava. Like, what kind of crazy metals are these aliens rocking? But I guess, you know, we've got psychic space aliens. Why can't we have metals that can withstand very high temperatures? Sure. Let's do it. Let's look at these aliens as well in batches. We looked at the previous alien that was kind of like a bit of a dragon. I should have mentioned that. Bit of a fun dragon there. I'm kind of getting dragon vibes. Now we've got bird face, mammal face, weird lava slug, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle with claws and a weird... Okay, that last one on the bottom right. What the devil is that? Huh? Got no idea. Kind of into Birdface though in the suits. Birdface and Mammalface in the top left and right. Pretty into those. They reminded me quite a bit of the latest Guardians of the Galaxy film, where of course you had the farm animals that were supersized and given brains and things. Yeah, let's move on and look at some more. Okay, what am I looking at there? I have no idea. That's eyes on the top left, and there is a bit of a rat tail. But is that like a growth? Are those ears? Or I'm so confused by this top left one. I'm gonna move on. I'm actually finding these a bit unpleasant. You know, not as in like not dislike them. I'm getting a bit of body horror with this. What are those weird stumpy leg things? What is that? Is that a beard? What are those dangly bits on the top right? Oh goodness me. That's cool. But the dangly bits are really gross. I hope they're not slimy. Oh god. Then we've got fire snake dude on the bottom left, and as we saw before, kind of dragon person, lithoid type dragon scale person. I think it makes a lot of sense to have a dragon-esque species portrait coming in with this one. I do like that. The last two, we've got kind of hedgehog dragon thing. Yeah, hedgehog. Definitely hedgehog-esque is what I'm getting here. Though maybe that's more of a porcupine. No, definitely hedgehog. I'm feeling hedgehog with that one, I think. Or maybe it's more like a what are they called? Those kind of I forget what they're called. Let me look it up. In my head, I had the word Sandshrew, and I'm like, that's a Pokemon. That's a Pokemon. Pangolins. It kind of is reminding. I'm getting a pangolin vibe there from the one on the top on the left. Then on the right, we've got, of course, the alien that was in the trailer. This is a new tank-bound alien, so we can obviously use this with tank-bound, anything that requires being in a tank. I wonder if that's lava in there, or if it's just very warm water. Not really sure what kind of liquid they've got inside their metal body. Kudos to them finding a metal that can withstand lava, though. That's really something else. Yeah, this entire species pack, I think, is going to be really, really weird. I'm getting a really weird vibe from some of these aliens. They're very freaky deaky. That wraps up all of the new information we have for this species pack. Don't forget, if you'd like to pre-order Stellaris Infernals and also support this channel, you can head over to the Paradox Interactive store using our link down in the description below to get your hands on a new Steam key, or use the code MONTUPLAYS at the Paradox Interactive store checkout. If you enjoyed this video on what's coming in the new Stellaris Infernal species pack, but it hasn't quite scratched that Stellaris itch, you might want to watch my brand new Civic tier list, where I've tried to rank like 75 of the standard Civics in a tier list. To do that, click the video on screen now.